Hello and welcome, my name is Parky and today we're going to be playing some more Plague Inc. Evolved. You meet me back, where today we're going to be doing another official scenario. So far we have completed the Black Death and also Santa's Little Helper. What I'm thinking is we might go through the rest of this list in order, just because I do eventually want to do all of them anyway. A lot of these are very specific, strange sort of circumstances that the game gives to you, different situations, and this one is Teleportation. Highly advanced technology has created the opportunity to travel through a portal and teleport to other countries. Meanwhile, after playing realistic Plague Simulator video games, humans have worked out which countries are more likely to be the safest in the event of global pandemic. Will they put this knowledge to good use? So I've had a little look into this. Now there's several things that you can play as. You can play as literally any of the plagues that you want. You might think, okay, so how is this teleportation going to work? Apparently what happens is, and I've not played it, I've just read a little bit about it, if one country is infected and those people have realised, then there'll be like a mass teleportation to a random island somewhere else in the world, or wherever, where they think they can escape the plague spreading as much as they can. With that in mind, one of these plagues stands out to me in particular, and that would be the Neurax worm. Now the reason for this is because the Neurax worm has the ability for you to send people on air flights to random countries to spread it that way. So if mass populations are spreading to other countries randomly, then we can just go and chase them over there. So let's just do it. We're going to go for him. So we got a load of other stuff. We got the catalytic switch, which I got from just playing off camera. You get bonus DNA from popping the blue bubbles, but we don't get many of those, and I think the red would be more useful. We still haven't got any of these other ones, but we do have aerosite, which I think is probably more useful than sea or land, if I'm not mistaken. So let's just go with that. Okay, so we're going to play on normal, and what we're going to call it, not extreme BO today, commitments. There we go. I don't know why I've really selected that as a name, but I guess it's maybe funny if people are teleporting away from commitments and then the commitments chase them down. It's a bit of a clever name. Okay, whatever. Welcome to the teleportation scenario. You're a new Neurax worm. To win you must evolve and spread across the world, wiping out humans in the ultimate plague. Select a start location. Now one of the start locations I'm going to use today is the South Africa one. Now this is because it's one of the hot countries. There's not many of these hot countries that have both the airport and the port. We've got Saudi Arabia, Egypt and South Africa. So I thought, seeing as we did Saudi Arabia last time, we're going to go with South Africa today. So let's do it. Commitments has infected its first human. Damn you, commitments. Weak but used to hot temperatures, it must evolve using DNA points to infect more people. Okay, so just as a brief recap, this is a complete different skill tree. We've got eggs, we've got concertia locomotion and genetic swap. We've also got different symptoms in here, neural breach. And we've got Trojan planes, which I think allows us to use the airplanes to transport people around. Carrying the Neurax worm with them, of course. Okay, so let's pop this bubble and start spreading our disease. We'll speed it up slightly as well. Commitment is a Neurax worm, undiscovered. For thousands of years now, humans have entered its natural habitat and given it means to spread. Cool, right, so the first thing I think we're going to go for is the concertia locomotion. So this is faster movement outside of the host, increasing infectivity. And actually we could even go for this as well, so increase that infectiousness. It's also going to unlock the water one and air one, which is obviously going to be ones that we want. You spent DNA points to evolve your disease and more options have opened up. Get more points by popping DNA and biohazard bubbles and infecting more people. Wonderful, so I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go for air and water, because they seem pretty standard. It is now spreading from person to person. Got just over 34 people now infected, which is going to grow very slowly. I think we go for let's go for air first, and then we'll go for the water one. One thing I really like about these different scenarios is that it really does mix things up, like completely, which is really nice. It's a nice break away from the normal sort of game mode, the main campaign as I like to call them. So how much do we need this? We need 10 for that water, which we've just got now, so let's grab that water one. And then next, I think I might go for some cold resistance. Oh god, I should have read that, shouldn't I? I assume normally that these don't actually say anything interesting. Botswana has been infected. Your disease has taken an important step in becoming a plague. When a new country is infected, pop the red bubble to get bonus DNA. Okay, so we've infected Botswana, which is right next to South Africa. Fantastic. Commitments infect thousands. Right, now obviously one thing that we have to worry about here is whether people are going to start teleporting around. For now though, I'm going to get cold resistance 1, because if they start teleporting to somewhere like Greenland, for example, it's going to be bad. Technological progress has led to the creation of teleportation portals, which are now active in certain countries. Portals can send people continuously for 24 hours at a time, but takes years to reboot after use. Okay, so for example, if everyone in South Africa goes to Greenland, then yeah, it might be possibly quite bad, but we then can send someone on a flight over here and they won't be able to teleport out very soon. So it got cold. Let's now go for the Trojan planes, just in case people do start using those airports to spread around the country. I mean, those teleportation devices to spread around the country. Then we actually send the people on the airplane. What am I talking about? Okay, so we're infecting more countries now, starting to spread quite nicely. I think now what we're going to go for is drug resistance 1, because it's going to decrease the effectiveness of drugs in wealthy countries, which is obviously always a bit of an issue. We're also going to go for perhaps water 2 next, just because I like water. Water seems good. Water is the water of life, of course. So we can spread this maybe into... Let's go for Greenland now. Let's go straight for the islands, because I have a feeling that they're going to go for those islands straight away if they teleport somewhere else. And now we've got enough points, we'll go for water 2. And then after that, I think we might as well go for air 2, which is going to be 16 DNA. No one's teleported yet. No funky business has happened. We might go for... Let's go for Iceland as well, just because it's cold there and a bit difficult to reach. Mad rush to buy portal tickets. Disease-conscious people are paranoid about commitments. Aren't we all? Despite warnings not to overreact, many are rushing to buy portal tickets to safer countries, just in case. Which shouldn't make too much difference, because we are going to aim, obviously, to get everyone. Large numbers of people in Japan are worried about commitments, and have managed to successfully teleport to the Caribbean. Japan is almost empty, which will slow disease spread. Well, having said that, we're going to infect the Caribbean next when we get the chance. Let's get Air 2, and then after this, I think we might as well go for Air 3, because this is going to increase infectivity in rich and hot countries. Can't even say it. Mass teleportation from China. They decided to teleport to the Caribbean as well. Oh, that's a big mistake, isn't it? The few that remain in the China are unlikely to come in contact with each other. How would that work? Because I'm sure in real life the Caribbean isn't big enough to support a population of China. Okay, well, we're going to go straight to China. I mean, straight to the Caribbean. Mass teleportation from Germany. They've gone to New Zealand this time. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. They're all going to start trying to go to little islands out in the place. Millions of people in Mexico have teleported to New Zealand, so everyone's going to New Zealand now. That is fine with me. So we want 24 for this. As soon as we get another aeroplane, we can spread across to New Zealand. South Africa has closed its land borders, but I'm not too concerned about that. So now that we've got Air 3, I think we might go for... Maybe we could start going into Neural Breach. But I feel as though maybe eggs would be useful, just to start increasing that infectiousness a little bit. So South Africa has started working on a cure as well. Might be a bit of an issue. They're very aware of this disease. So mass teleportation from Turkey. They've gone to New Zealand. Will it be safe with so many people there? It certainly will not. Let's send them to New Zealand like that. We're going to pop these bubbles. And New Zealand is going to have some problems now. Okay, let's get eggs 1. We're also going to get eggs 2, I think. Just because why not? It's going to basically increase the infectivity, which is going to help us massively. The more scary commitments becomes by hurting and killing people, the harder humans will try to cure it. Okay, so what do we want to go for next? This is the main question. We're infecting more people, it's more infectious than HIV, which is fantastic. I think we might go for water 3 now, because, well, we've gone for air 3, which seems like a good idea. And then after this, I think I might go for maybe eggs. I think after this, just because I'm starting to get a bit scared of the research, we're going to go for drug resistance 2, just to speed up our infectivity and slow down the rate at which things are starting to get a bit iffy, if you see what I mean. So let's go for drug resistance 2, and then after this, we might go for cold 2 just to start spreading it up into the European areas and the north of Asia, just because that is scary business. Now, where else are they going to try and spread? We could go for the Philippines, because they're a small group of islands. They'll never escape, so let's go for cold resistance 2. Then we're going to go for genetic hardening, because it's going to decrease future research speed. Let's stave off that research. Japan is starting to break down due to commitments. Cure research is starting to slow. Oh my god, look at this. Okay, well this is obviously enough points for us to start doing some other stuff. So now we've done that, I think I might as well start doing some symptoms. Let's go for neural breach. So that's going to cause rapid eye blinking. We're also then going to go for cerebral tendrils. And then maybe, what are these ones? Confusion, hard to concentrate on complex work. So I would assume that would slow down research speed. Also got this one, severe allergic reactions to the worm. We've also got manipulate host. Okay, so manipulate the host. That sounds like a good idea. And then I think after this, Immaturity lowers hygiene, increases infection. Sounds good. What's this? Mania? I think mania is probably a good one to go for as well. Contact with others, inability to focus. Okay, so that would spread things quite nicely. And I'll tell you what we might do. We might go for genetic hardening too, just because, yeah, we don't want them to cure anything. Nothing at all. Cure speed is going to be so slow, I don't even care. Right, so where should we send this time? I think maybe we should go for... Japan is already infected. Let's go for somewhere which hasn't had much activity yet. Well, I think actually most places have had some activity. We could go for... Let's go for Finland, as there are not many people there. Actually, I think it's only just been infected in Finland, but that's okay. Commitment's just another parasite. Scientists tell public not to worry about commitments. Although unpleasant, it does not appear to cause any symptoms in humans and will be easily cured. Well, I slightly disagree with you, but... That's good, because it means they're not going to focus on their research speed. I don't know about you, but if I was told that I had a parasite in me anywhere, I would be freaking the fuck out and want to get it out of me. But maybe that's just me. Now, we've got the genetic reshuffle, which we can do at some point, but for now, I think what we want to do is maybe just hold off on these, because these are going to start increasing the lethality. We could, of course, do confusion, which I think sounds probably quite good. Memory loss, very hard to cure. Could do. It's only 12 DNA points. I think we should do that. And then for this, maybe we could go for some of these other things. We've got genetic swap, increases chance of mutation, but that's not really something we want to go for. It's starting to spread around the world quite nicely, so maybe we'll just leave it as it is. What does the second one of these do? Get more hosts to travel on planes to target countries. Well, we don't need to worry too much because we're already in a lot of countries. We don't need to spread it around that quickly. So now it's going into pretty much everywhere else in the world, starting to spread into sort of Eastern Europe area, and also Russia is taking a big hit on how many people are infected. We almost infected most people in the world as well. Cure is at 25%. I think I might start sending someone to Morocco, because Morocco seems like it's not got many people in it. Also, Canada is starting to take a massive wave of these infections. All research is being focused on developing a cure for commitments, which is fantastic for them, but it's not that great for us. So we're going to send them to the Baltic states, we're also going to get into the Ukraine. Experimental cure for commitments lethal. An experimental cure for commitments has been found to be 100% lethal in humans. Good job, scientists. You're doing a brilliant job out there. Who researchers say that the setback will damage cure efforts? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to genetic reshuffle 1, just to get this going. We're also going to send some more people to China. Commitments placed on watch list. And for now, you know what I might as well try and do? Oh, I don't know. The research is getting quite high. I'm thinking maybe we should just start making people kill each other. It's on 40%. Maybe if we genetic reshuffle 2. And then, yeah, I'll tell you what, let's just do it. Okay, aggression. We're also probably going to want to put some points into acute encephalitis. Encephalitis causes neurological damage resulting in death. That's going to increase the lethality massively. Probably cognitive scrambling as well would be a good idea. Mild seizures. And also scrambles host decision-making abilities. Probably would mean that they wouldn't go into the doctors to get a cure. We can also go for schizophrenia, because that's always fun. Causes fatal fevers. And we can also go for maybe hallucinations, because that's fantastic. Free LSD, man. Sort of, but probably a bit more deadly than LSD. Not sure. Maybe, yeah, I still think it's probably a bit more deadly. Okay, so this is going to increase transmission chances as well as increase the chance of injury. And we might as well go for blindness. Reduces awareness and causes fatal accidents. Okay, so we've used most of our points now. We've only got 6 left. So if we want to genetic reshuffle again, we're going to face some problems. First death has occurred in the Caribbean. I'm pretty certain there's a lot of people in the Caribbean. Yeah, almost all of the population of the world. But what can you do? Okay, so where is not infected? I think everyone is infected now. It's killed more than the Black Death. We're on 42% research, but that should slow down. All healthy people are gone. So it should slow down their research quite nicely, because everyone's going to be blind and fumbling around because they don't know what's going on. They're confused. No cure research. It can take place in Germany. We're also getting some more points in, so we can pump this into genetic reshuffle if we need it and it starts getting a bit iffy, but to be honest, how quickly this is spreading, I'm not too concerned. No one actually went to Iceland and Greenland to escape the effects of a plague, but what can you do? So I think what we're going to do now is maybe start increasing, we could increase the lethality even more, I suppose. Insanity, that's always fun. And also what we could do is go for genetic reshuffle 3, we only need 10 more points. Probably get that quite quickly from killing off people. But to be honest, how slowly this research is going up, I'm not too concerned whatsoever. I think we're going to kill them all quite easily. And that teleportation is a very interesting feature. I like it as a game mechanic. It switches things up, but you could argue it actually makes it easier, especially if you're using the Neurax worm, just because... Actually, we might as well genetic reshuffle for the score. Let's do it for the score, man! I'll tell you what else we can do. We can probably go for just some of these other horrible things. Perceptive shift. I think it does actually help having everyone bunch into one country. Like the Caribbean, why the hell did they think that was a good idea? The entire population of China going to the Caribbean. I don't even think they could still fit on the island, but that's cool. All of Japan went over there. Doesn't make much sense, but the research is on 44%. There's currently under 20 million people infected, so infected being equal to the amount of people alive at this point in time because everyone is infected. Under 5 million almost, and I think this is a pretty safe bet that we've won this one. Research seems about stuck on 44%. Got 15 more points we could keep or just spend them in something else. No, we don't really need to, just put it into Trojan planes for the sake of it. Why not? And there we go, we've got under 1 million people now, under 500. Commitments to eradicate humans. To be honest, commitments are the worst thing in the world, so yeah. Aside from like 2 other ones, like loved ones, other people, they're the only form of okay commitments, and maybe a job. But that's not a fun commitment, so that doesn't count. We're going to ignore that comment. Epic. Victory. Commitments have successfully eliminated all life on Earth. Of course it has. We've got 2 stars. I don't know how you could get to 3. Maybe doing it a bit quicker. Maybe having a bit of a lower cure progress. And maybe playing on a higher difficulty. I'm not really sure. So let's exit this. That was pretty successful. I think using the Neurax worm is a very good idea for that one. Next time we're going to look into the artificial organs. But for now, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the episode and want to leave your support for the series, please leave a like and also a comment. And subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, awkward, awkward, goodbye. Awkward.